You saw fear, you screamed.
Thank you, sir.
Promote democracy. Like I said, you did not conquer anybody. You won election. That is the essence of democracy.
Inside the Aso Rock presidential villa, where Osun State Governor Ademola Adeleke on Thursday went to go see the president for his first post-election meeting. Now, the governor arrived at exactly 5:25 p.m., then got into this closed-door meeting with the president saying that it was God's will that put the two of them where they are today. Let's watch.
Reconciliation. Expand your coast. That is the only way you can give thanks to Osun people. Not the way you sang it or celebrate it. It's the way you act it. Use me as an example. And I got here. God put me here. Where you are today, God put you there. Not the smartness of any of these people. It's just their support, not their smartness. It's the wish of God that prevailed and the wish of the people followed. And you are in a very, very unique position to make history.
Yes, sir. Noted, sir.
Promote unity, peace, and stability. All you are doing now is progressive instinct. And you did a very good mobilization with your team. Very good job. You saw fear, you screamed.
Thank you, sir.
Promote democracy. Like I said, you did not conquer anybody. You won election. That is the essence of democracy. I'm so happy that we have this talk.
I mean, what an image. Make no mistake, the Osun State elections were not a walk in the park. There was the case of the EFCC freezing the state's account, a presidential intervention personally signed by Tinubu to remove the freeze, a senator telling crowds to kill Accord members, allegations of APC spending 60 billion naira to unseat Governor Adeleke himself. Very different from the image we just saw of conversation and camaraderie between the two leaders. Now, how do the people who lived through the Osun State election see this meeting, and how does the rest of Nigeria? That's the big question we have this morning. But first, let me say TGIF, we made it, all of us. All of us made it to Friday. Thank God it's Friday. Rufai, good morning. Great to see you. So far from me today, usually here.
Good morning, honey.
Good morning. But of course, happy to be next to Vimbai.
Yes,
great to see you. Great to see you, Vimbai, here. And Rufai, speaking right after that meeting, you had the governor, Ademola Adeleke, giving his utmost thanks to President Tinubu for what he described as allowing a free and fair governorship election in the state. Let's take a look.
Yes, that is why I'm here, to thank Mr. President, the father of the nation, because he fought for this democracy. That is why he allowed free and fair election. And that is the result. That is why I'm here to say thank you for making sure that democracy lives in Nigeria.
Now, Rufai, remember, this is an opposition governor thanking the president of the ruling party for the conduct of an election that he won. But people online are also pointing out the governor's choice of words, a free and fair election. Given the allegations of vote buying, coercion, violence, and killings that took place in the state, how are we supposed to reconcile this meeting between the governor, the president, and these comments from the governor?
I didn't say there's something called politics. He's playing politics. He will have to go and thank Mr. President now. And you see, it's also a cultural thing. Don't forget, we have an African culture of subservience. That's why every big man in Africa thinks people must bow down for them. It's a culture of subservience, you get. In other parts of the world, you will not see somebody win an election and go to visit the president and thank him that he won an election. But in Africa, we have a culture of subservience. Once you see that somebody is in a higher position, you say yes, sir, for the person. In fact, they even do it for people that are younger. Once you are in a higher position than somebody that is older than you, the person has to call you sir. So it's a culture of subservience, and it's also political alignment. It's not that deep. But, dear President, there are some things that I would like to disagree with there. Okay, it's God that puts people in position. No, it's not God, though. It's INEC. It's INEC. It's not God. When it comes to election, let's not even call God. Let's not bring God into this thing. Because we call God, our life does not become better. Till today, INEC has not told us what considered the glitch in 2023 election. Till today, INEC has not told us why IRF stopped uploading. So it's not a case of God puts people here, don't be mean to your opponents and everything. Bring it. Yes, it's a good fatherly advice. I will thank you as that. But the truth is let's stop mentioning God. Let's stop mentioning God. Because President Tinubu, when you were using your own federal might, when they didn't pay Osun State local government allowance all this while, you didn't add God to it too. Okay, you reversed the EFCC freeze. When they first froze the EFCC account, when over 20 governors, Abi, how many governors went to Osun? APC governors?
21 years.
When 20 governors went there, why didn't they leave the elections for God? But they still went there now. Right. So it's not about God. But I appreciate his fatherly advice. But this one that they say God put there, no, it's not God that put people in office in. It's money, it's INEC, it's federal might.
Yes.
It's vote buying, subjugation of people that put people in office.
Right.
It's not God. No, let's not put God. It's INEC, vote buying, subjugation, federal might. Federal might means paying security authorities and all of that. And the only thing that reverses the case of Osun is the people power. And that's why, please, shine your eye. Your power lies in your hands.
Very key.
You are the one that's supposed to be the redeterminer, not INEC, not subjugation and everything. That's why you need to come out and vote. So let's not put God. It's not God.
I mean, that was a through line throughout these elections, the power of the people. And let's stay on the Adeleke. So many questions, and it's up to whoever ends up in the presidential villa in 2027 to figure it out. Now to what might be the biggest trending story in the last 24 hours, where people are reacting to an exchange between UBA Group Chairman Tony Elumelu and a young female graduate after she publicly addressed him by his first name. Now, the incident took place during the question and answer session at the bank's Graduate Management Accelerated Program graduation ceremony on Thursday, and people have a lot to say, so let's take a look.
Next.
Okay. Good morning, Tony.
Toyin.
I said good morning, Tony.
Okay, no, you won't call me Tony. I'm not those people. You call me Mr. Elumelu or Tioyi. You won't call me Tony or Chairman. That is, I don't subscribe to that kind of Oyibo life, okay? All right.
Good morning, Mr. Elumelu. So my question is...
Now, while it may seem like a simple correction, the exchange has opened up bigger conversations about corporate etiquette and how senior figures should be addressed in Nigeria. Now, Elumelu has built this public image that is relatively accessible, but his response draws a clear line between being accessible and maintaining professional hierarchy. But this isn't a uniquely Nigerian correction, because as this video of Elumelu is trending, people have gone into the archives to dig up a 1990 clip of the popular American novelist and poet, Maya Angelou, who at the time also told a young audience member, "You can't just call me Maya." Let's watch.
I wanted to ask Maya her views on interracial relationships.
Oh, thank you. And first, I'm Miss Angelo.
Miss Angelo?
Yes, ma'am. I'm not Maya. I'm 62 years old. I have lived so long and tried so hard that a young woman like you or any other you have no license to come up to me and call me by my first name. That's first. Also, because at the same time, I am your mother, I'm your auntie, I'm your teacher, I'm your professor. You see? Watch your mouth. Watch what you say. to another human being. Don't be so ready to be rude. You have to teach the children that. People don't jump up out of cribs, baby cribs, and know that. So somebody has not done the right thing. That's all I'm saying.
Strong words. Maya's advice to the young girl about respect resonated with a lot of Nigerians, but where do we draw the line? This question comes as another video emerged showing Tony Elumelu being simply addressed as Tony by a Stanford University graduate student, Shizom Obi Okoye, back in 2022. Let's take a look.
Hi, Tony. It's so great to have you here. Thank you for being with us today.
Good to meet you too.
You are one of the most celebrated and most decorated business leaders in Africa, and I would posit the world.
The question here is, where do we draw the line? To put all of this in context, it is UBA's policy to be addressed on a first-name basis, and perhaps that's where the young lady got carried away. But she's since faced a lot of backlash online, and as much as we critique her actions, we must also condemn online bullying, because no lesson in respect should come at the cost of someone's dignity. I'll come to you first on this story, but I'm sure you all have your thoughts because this is such a big story.
I'm not so vigorously based on that last point. Let me start then and I'll go back to that. Let's not forget very recently, Jason Ade, you can correct someone or someone can even be in the wrong if you believe so without public vilification, vilifying the person. I believe that Nigerians have done enough in trying to shame, this lady in quotes, or making her feel really terrible about herself. And so let it stop. Please let it stop. And I hope that UBA would also, encourage the young lady. I believe that there was a bit of nerves. You can see that there speaking. And even if she was in the wrong, even if it's about Gen Z behavior, there's always an opportunity to correct or let people see a better way to have done things. So what is a better way to have done things? I want to come from the position of a learning opportunity for not just this young lady, but others who might come into a room and are susceptible to making this kind of error. You also pointed out that UBA's culture is on first name basis, and that's what I was going to say. First of all, what is the culture of the organization? That's one. Number two is that what is the tradition of calling the person in question, especially because this young lady, I believe, is a staff of UBA. This was the UBA's graduate management program, which has been successful over the years, trained about 5,000 young professionals. So a great opportunity for them to engage with their leader. He's not just, UBA's outgoing chairman. He's also a national figure, an international figure on the African continent, across the world. How do you address a man like this? If you haven't done your homework, which I would suggest before you go into a room and you want to meet with certain people, do your homework, do your research, prepare. He said that people call him TOE, especially within the organization, or chairman, or Mr. Tony, or Mr. Elumelu. Excellent point there. Then the other thing about this as well is that, and it applies to any other place, always err on the side of caution.
Right.
It is better to err on the side of caution and let the person give you the permission to use his first name. Whether you like it or not, I want to leave away just the context of being African. That's a big part. But even professionally across all levels, I won't meet the president today and call him, oh good afternoon, Donald, because in America, everybody calls people on them. It's Mr. President. So understanding the culture, and if he then says, oh no, call me Donald, then I can begin to use that term for him, but at least err on the side of caution. So to the young people who are watching, there's an opportunity to learn. Yes. You go into a corporate environment or even an informal setting, err on the side of caution. You see elders, call them. It costs you nothing to give respect to people old or young. If they then give you the permission of using their first names, go ahead with it. The second point then would be that read, like you said, read the room. So if you see, this is how people call, whether you think you're woke or anything, I don't even think that was her problem. I think she was nervous. She didn't know how to, address him. So give her some grace. But this is an opportunity for not just her, but others to learn. If you go somewhere else and they say, call me Atedo, Peterside, as it's done in another, that's how they want it. Right. But do not accuse or bring people down for a particular culture that they have. That is the culture of the organization, and his personal preference. Respect that. I think it's a learning curve for a lot of people this morning.
Yes, and that is such a critical point, that the fact that this is essentially a learning opportunity for young people and older people to, like Vimbai said, read the room. Now to an unexpected collaboration I can guarantee you never saw coming, with the Church Christ Embassy now unveiling a brand new range of electric vehicles under the Scion brand. marking its entry into Nigeria's automotive and electric mobility space. Now, the founder, Pastor Chris Oyakilome, presented a number of models, including the Scion Passion, the Falcon, the Vision, and more at the New Economy Unveiling 2026 last weekend. Let's take a look.
Can we show them the cars? Okay, let's just show you the cars. Now we're changing that steering. Yes, we're changing the shape of that one. So this is the Scion Passion. This is the Scion Falcon, the Falcon series. This is the Vision series. This is the Vision Coupe.
Now, Rufai, this move highlights a growing shift in the role of religious organizations beyond their traditional activities, with churches increasingly investing in businesses, tech, and innovations. But electric cars from a church, I mean...
Not a bad thing. Innovation.
Okay.
This is good. This is front-facing. It's something that we need in our society. And this is bringing about innovation. At least if churches do not pay taxes because they're religious bodies, they should be able to segue into innovation. I'm seeing the skill transfer, the knowledge transfer. It's a laudable one. Mm-hmm. We've had churches that have delved into universities, that have hospitals. I think Razimaz also has a hospital. Bishop Oyedepo has a university. I mean, they delved into things like research and technology. So these are the kind of things we want. So probably if they can give Razimaz a charter to have like an automotive university of some sort, and you know, it's going to be well. Mm-hmm. But you see, I love this subsidy debate because it's throwing up a lot of things. And a lot of modeling.
You can help yourself.
Good segue.
I can't help myself. I can't help myself.
Go on.
Okay, quickly.
President Tinubu said we saved 15 trillion from subsidy. Let me throw some numbers around. Do you know how much import waivers cost Nigeria in 2025 alone?
Tell us.
34 trillion. 34 trillion. That's what import waivers cost Nigeria alone. 34 trillion naira. So that's even more, that's times 2 of what was made from fuel subsidies. So you see, when we extrapolate the arguments, there's still some form of subsidy that goes on one way or the other. In fact, import waiver is one subsidy that we have never even cracked, that we've never even looked at. If you look deeply, there might be some scam also involved in that. We've not even, that's one area I'm just revealing today. Mm-hmm. It's one area. So when we are saying, oh, we are fighting corruption, we're fighting scams, if I didn't say this, would you have believed that 34 trillion actually went? These are foregone revenues that Nigeria will have collected to the tune of 34 trillion. Extrapolate that, compare that to even the subsidy that we would have paid, how much we paid in subsidy. Extrapolate the number. So, you see, it's not a one-size-fits-all. Mm-hmm. It's not a pro or against.
Right.
I am just concerned about anything that will make suffering a lot easier on the Nigerian people. Mm-hmm. That's just all I'm concerned about.
Yes.
And what will that do? Segueing back to Chris Oyakilome, Pastor Chris Oyakilome, Reverend Chris Oyakilome, is innovation like this. Mm-hmm. But I don't want him to stop here.
Okay.
Because most of the parts will still be CKD, and they will bring in and they'll just assemble here.
Right.
I want us to get to a time where most Nigerians, the components there are finding local production here.
Right.
Like the engine blocks and the other components. Yes. Some people like Inoson, while there might be a mix, but most of the plastic components and everything generated locally.
True.
So how can we make it that we can do skill transfer, that we can start producing things like engine block and the likes, and have a reverse integration? Mm-hmm. That's just...
And those local industries deserve a window of subsidy.
And that's where steel will come in. And they deserve a level of subsidy.
Right.
Just for a window, though. Not internal subsidy.
Even the ones, what about the ones that they've even abused?
Subsidy perpetuating.
I've told you about one, import licensing.
Yes. Okay.
34 trillion now.
Okay. No, those are really good points. And all of the stories really are linked. Transport, fuel, subsidy.